Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to make a complete roadmap for your Paper 1 Jurisprudence, Interpretation, and General Laws. Now, how did we make this roadmap? Well, we have studied 10 years of exam data for this paper. That's right, every single question from every one of the 18 chapters across 10 different exam sessions. By the end of this, you will know exactly which chapters to focus on and which ones to spend less time on. So let's start and see how to study smart.
You see, Paper 1 has 18 chapters, and it feels like a lot, right? The big problem is that most students they try to study everything equally. They give the same amount of time to Chapter 1 as they do to Chapter 17. But the exam just doesn't work that way. Some chapters come in every single exam, while some others, they hardly ever appear. So if you don't know which is which, you're basically just guessing, and we don't want you to guess.
Okay, let's begin with Section 1, the data-driven solution.
So, how do we use this information? Well, that brings us to Section 2. We've organized all the chapters using what we call the 4-tier system.
We've put every single chapter into one of 4 groups, or tiers. It's very simple. Tier 1 are the power chapters. These are the most important, non-negotiable chapters. You must study these first. Tier 2 are high-value chapters. Also very important, and you study them right after Tier 1. Then we have Tier 3, the moderate chapters. You study these after Tiers 1 and 2 are finished. And finally, Tier 4 are the selective chapters. You give these minimum time. And remember, this is all based on data, not just our opinion.
All right, let's dive into Section 3 and look at the most important group of all, Tier 1. These are the power chapters, the ones you absolutely have to master.
Tier 1 has just 3 chapters. Number 1 is Chapter 7, Laws on Crime and Procedure. It has appeared in all 10 out of 10 exams, averaging 14 marks each time. This is the king. Now, one very important point here, this chapter now follows the new BNS and BNSS laws. So please study the new law, not the old one. Next is Chapter 2, Constitution of India, and then Chapter 3, Interpretation of Statutes. Together, these 3 chapters alone give you an average of more than 37 marks in every single exam.
Okay, moving on to Section 4. Here we have Tier 2, the high-value chapters. These are the ones that give you a really strong return on investment, meaning you get very good marks for the time you put in.
Now, Tier 2 has 7 chapters, and it's actually the biggest tier, covering about 41% of the whole paper. But listen carefully. Pay special attention to Chapter 16 and Chapter 11. You see the little lightning symbol? We've marked them as rising stars. Why? Because their importance in recent exams is growing very, very fast. So when you study Tier 2, always study these rising stars first. Start with Chapter 16, then Chapter 11, and then do the rest.
And this chart, this shows you exactly why we call them rising stars. Just look at Chapter 16, Contract Law. A few years ago, it was worth about 5 marks. But in recent exams, it has jumped to 12, 15, even 20 marks. The average has gone from 5.3 to 15.7. That's a massive 196% increase. And then there's Chapter 11, Arbitration. Its average has grown from 5.3 to 8.3 marks. This is likely because the new mediation law was added. So these 2 chapters need your extra focus.
Next up, in Section 5, let's talk about how to complete the rest of the syllabus smartly. This is where we look at Tier 3 and Tier 4 together.
So, Tier 3 has 4 chapters. These are very regular, very predictable chapters. 2 of them came in all 10 exams, the other 2 came in 9 out of 10. Each one usually gives you around 5 to 7 marks. They are steady and safe. So study them once your Tiers 1 and 2 are done. One good revision is usually enough. Oh, and a quick note on Chapter 8, Evidence Act. Here too, make sure you are studying the new Bharatiya Saksha Adhiniyam.
And now for Tier 4. For these 4 chapters, you have to be very strict. Give them minimum time only. For Chapter 18, Negotiable Instruments, just study the key topics. For Chapter 14, RTI, focus on the definitions. For Chapter 9, Specific Relief, just the main provisions. And then we have Chapter 17, Sale of Goods. We've marked this one as a smart skip. In 10 exams, it was only worth 33 marks in total. So spend a maximum of 1 to 2 hours on it, read the key points, and then just move on. Your time is more valuable elsewhere.
And finally, we come to Section 6, your action plan. This is where we take all this data and turn it into a simple, clear strategy that you can follow.
Just look at this number 1 last time. Tiers 1 and 2 together. That's just 10 chapters, and they make up 68.8% of the entire paper.
Tier 1 gives you 27%, and Tier 2 gives you another 41%. Almost 70% of your marks are right here in these 10 chapters. This is where you must focus your energy.
So, here it is, your study plan. It's called the 60-30-10 rule. It's simple. 60% of your total study time, 60%, goes to the 3 chapters in Tier 1. Master them completely. Then, 30% of your time goes to the 7 chapters in Tier 2. Remember to start with the rising stars, contract law, and arbitration. And the last 10% of your time? That's for all of Tiers 3 and 4 combined. One quick revision, just the key points. For Chapter 17, maximum 1 or 2 hours, and that's it.
So let's do a quick recap of our special flags. The 2 rising stars are Chapter 16 and Chapter 11. Their weightage is growing fast, so give them extra attention. The evergreen chapters are those 7 chapters that have appeared in every single exam. They are your safest bet. And the smart skip is Chapter 17, Sale of Goods. Low marks, not very regular. Spend minimum time here.
Now, if you found this analysis helpful, please do subscribe to the channel. So subscribe now so you don't miss out.
Just remember, this analysis is based on past data. These trends are a very strong guide, but they are not a guarantee of what will come in your exam. So use this data as your roadmap, but combine it with your own hard work and thinking. Always remember our motto, study smart and score better. All the best.